Let's take you live to Anthony Albanese now. He is on the big budget cell. We'll be asked a few questions about Telstra, what he's going to provide in the lead up to the election. A few other things around today. Let's listen in.
Own policy the morning after. We know that it's just over 1,000 that would impact. Compare that with this one project on this one site. 400 homes right here. This is how you actually get serious policy done, by having a housing policy. And our Homes for Australia policy, $32 billion, stands in stark contrast to what Peter Dutton has said. Did he announce a single dollar for new housing in his budget reply? No, he did not. That stands in stark contrast to our Housing Australia Future Fund announcement, $10 billion we did in our budget reply. Alternative governments need to come up with serious alternative plans that have dollars allocated to them. We did that on cheaper childcare, Housing Australia Future Fund, Rewiring the Nation plan, new energy apprenticeships, National Reconstruction Fund. Fully costed plans put forward, worked through in opposition. We did the hard work so that we could hit the ground to repair 10 years of neglect. The housing sector was neglected under the former government. We're getting on with fixing it.
But do you agree with the statement?
We're getting on with fixing it. I make my own statements. What I do is I work each and every day to make a difference. And in housing and our Homes for Australia plan, which is comprehensive, that encourages build to rent in the private sector, that encourages public-private partnerships like this one, that will build increased numbers of social and affordable housing, that will make a difference for emergency housing for women and children escaping domestic violence. All of that adds up to a coherent plan, $32 billion that is there in the budget, stands in stark contrast to our opponents.
Prime Minister, the ICC chief prosecutor is seeking arrest warrants for Israeli and Hamas leaders. US President Joe Biden says seeking the arrest warrants of Israeli leaders is outrageous. Do you agree with him?
Well, I don't comment on court processes in Australia, let alone court processes globally, of which Australia is not a party.
Do you agree with Joe Biden's comments? And is it
I just answered the same question. Look, I don't comment on court proceedings. What we need to concentrate on when it comes to the Middle East is what we have been saying. From the time that on October 7, the terrorist atrocity committed by Hamas, we oppose that. We've called for the release of hostages. We've called for a humanitarian ceasefire. We've called for increased humanitarian aid for the people of Gaza. We've said that every life matters, whether it be Israeli or Palestinian, and we've called for progress towards a two-state solution. That is where we are concentrating, playing a role where we can in promoting the right of both Israelis and Palestinians to live in security, in peace and with prosperity.
Do you think this is an appropriate move?
I've answered the question.
There's been Julian Assange, a development in Julian Assange overnight. Are you certain that you've exhausted all possibilities from your end to try to get Julian Assange home?
I'm certain that we are continuing to work in a constructive fashion. Our position has been very clear. Same position I had as opposition leader I've had as Prime Minister, which is enough. There's nothing to be served by the ongoing incarceration of Mr Assange, and we continue to work very closely to achieve that outcome.